Hi everyone, I'm Megan from meganmins.com, and today I'm going to be talking about the 7 things that I'm doing right now to prepare for success this fall. It almost feels like a new year. My assistant actually told me yesterday that September is the new January, which I firmly believe in. And it's not even just the two of us that feel this way about fall and September. Gary Vaynerchuk actually just published a blog post and a video where he says that August is the month to go all in. And this is a direct quote. He actually says, August is always the month that sets the tone for your future. And he kind of goes on about why he believes this, but in summary, it's that everyone's still kind of relaxing in August. And then as soon as September comes along, everyone all of a sudden goes into action. So instead of taking August super easy, he encourages you to use this as a time to get ahead of everyone else. So I'm not going crazy in August, but I am preparing, and it's kind of a fun preparing for a new year almost. And if you want to read that blog post that Gary Vaynerchuk wrote, you can go to garyvaynerchuk.com/August. I already put it in the description here so you guys can check it out. So if you believe in what Gary Vee said and you believe in kind of what I feel as well, August is the perfect time for us to all get ready for the rest of the year and the fall. So today I'm going to be talking about the 7 things that I'm doing right now to prepare for the fall. Number 1, I'm bringing back the morning routine. I don't know about you guys, but earlier this year, I set this really awesome morning routine. I was in the good groove with it. And then something about summer, it just went away. I don't have kids, so summer really wasn't even that different for me. It was a bit of a slower season, but I just kind of stopped doing it over time. And I'm really excited that I'm bringing it back in, reincorporating it as I'm getting ready for the fall when things get a little bit busier. I'm already starting to rebuild this habit. So for me, some things I like to do in the morning are meditate. I'm not an expert at meditation. It's more like a 5 to 10 minute. I use an app called Headspace usually. But a little bit of meditation goes a long way, I'm finding. And then journaling, which can look like whatever you want. It can just be streams of consciousness. It can be affirmations. And sometimes it varies for me too, but just sitting down and just journaling at all seems to make a difference. And then even kind of caring about my environment. I have a diffuser back behind me normally and like putting essential oils in it and cleaning up my desk. So all those things that I used to do every day, I've kind of like let go. So one of the things I'm doing is definitely reestablishing my morning routine and bringing it back before things start to get a little crazier. Okay. The second thing I'm doing is I'm redoing my daily and weekly schedule. I'm a planner, so maybe not everyone wants to go this far, but I firmly need boundaries and guidelines for my day or framework for my day in order to be the most productive. Otherwise, I'll sit at my desk and just do whatever I feel like doing instead of kind of working in this foundation or this framework that I've already established for myself. And just like the morning routine, I totally lost that this summer every day. And I just work on different things and kind of worked on different elements, which was nice to be able to be creative, but I missed the framework. I was definitely more productive when I had this schedule. So I'm going back and revisiting what I want my days to look like, what I want my week to look like. Some things I like to do, including my morning routine, I build that into it. I'm also block scheduling. So I don't usually do a whole day of a block, but maybe, before lunch on Tuesday, I don't do any meetings. I work on writing. Or after lunch on Thursdays, I have all the meetings, different things like that. And I'm still refining what I want it to look like, but I'm taking the time to rebuild it. And I think that that's really going to help me as I go into the fall to have a more productive day and a more productive week that still feels good and has flexibility, but also some boundaries. And I actually have a free workbook for you guys. The link is in the description of this video. I call it my free ideal day planner. And what it will do is walk you through creating your ideal day, and then you can kind of build out your ideal week from there. So you can grab that for free. I have a little printout that I'm going to go through myself when I kind of sit down today and refine this. So yeah, it's just this little 4-page workbook. So you can grab that for free. I also have a blog post on it that I've linked in the description of this video as well if you want to see me go through it in action. Number 3, focusing on personal development. So I think August is an amazing time to really read those books you've been wanting to read, go through online courses you've bought that you never actually finished, We all do it. It happens. So that's what I've been doing. And I hope to continue to do that before September really kicks in and I start having projects that I'm managing and things like that. Number 4, revisit and reset goals. So like I touched on earlier, September feels like the start of a new year. So it's kind of the perfect time to go back and look at the goals you set for the year and just revisit them, because chances are you might not have revisited them for a little bit. So I'm going to look back and say, what did I set? What were the goals I set for this year? Are they still relevant? Did I do them? And what are my goals for the rest of the year? What do I want to accomplish in the next 4 to 5 months? And what can I realistically do in that time frame? So now is the perfect time to kind of reset what you want to accomplish the rest of the year. It's a really exciting time to kind of do this before all of a sudden it's September and you wish you were launching a program. If you're taking the time now in August, you will be able to launch that program in September. So definitely take the time to do that. Okay. Number 5 is kind of an extension of number 4, mapping out the rest of the year. So now that you know what you want to accomplish, when are you going to do it? So this is when I like to get out a real calendar, whether it's a dry erase board or, a big one from Paper Source, which I love, hang it on the wall, have it in front of you, and actually start putting down some tentative dates. And I always find this is a flexible thing. I'll usually put down dates and then erase them and move things around. And that's part of the beauty of it. But this is actually putting it in a tentative schedule and seeing how this will actually look for you and if it's realistic or not. So mapping out the rest of the year for me, what am I going to launch? What am I going to create? Which obviously takes time. And when am I going to launch it? And just big picture, how am I serving my audience? Number 6 is creating an action plan. This also builds on the last one. So now we know when we want to do things. Now it's time to actually make these real. Instead of just having it be a date on the calendar that you're not actually working towards, we need to create action plans. And August is the perfect time to do that. It's been so great. Yesterday, I stayed up oddly late. My husband was like, "What are you doing?" I'm building out an action plan for a launch that I have coming up later this year. So it's really exciting, but now's the perfect time because you have that time and freedom of flexibility to really devote the time to making an action plan that you might not have time for later when you're supposed to actually be creating things. So I like to create my action plans in Asana. That is the project management system I use, but you could definitely do it in Trello, Todoist, even in just a Google Doc or on paper, if you're a paper person. There's no wrong way to do it, but it's just actually breaking down that goal and breaking it into those tasks and figuring out who's going to do it, when they're going to do it, and make sure that your timelines all match out. Sometimes when I'm creating the action plan, I'll realize that my date on the calendar is super unrealistic. I'll put a date for a launch and then I'll start building out when I'm going to create the course. And I'll be like, I might need more than a week to create the course. Darn it, gotta move this back. So it is a flexible process, but that's the point. And I think that's the beauty of doing it now, as opposed to when you're 3 weeks away from wanting to actually launch something. The last one is number 7, which is cleaning and organizing my workspace and really my whole house. Real talk, I have a dresser. You can't see it, but I have a dresser behind me. This big 6-drawer white dresser from IKEA. I had all these plans for how I was going to organize everything. And instead I've just thrown stuff in it. It's been 6 junk drawers all in one. For example, I have a bunch of stuff sitting on top of it and I just kind of throw it in the drawers when I'm going to do a video. And it's kind of weighs on me. I can ignore it because it's behind me. But the reality is I know there's a lot of junk that's unorganized behind me and it distracts me. So I definitely want to focus on organizing my workspace, going through there, shredding papers that can be shredded, scanning papers that need to be saved digitally, and putting things away just in general. So there's definitely areas in our office where I feel like I need to do that. And then really, hopefully I'm going to make time for it. The whole house. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like over the year, you just accumulate stuff. And we don't really need that stuff. And it takes up space, both mentally and physically. So I am going to clean out everything, do a big purge, donate a lot of stuff, and just kind of jump into fall feeling really refreshed and clean and organized and prepared. So just a little recap. The 7 things that I'm doing to prepare for success this fall. Number 1, bring back the morning routine. Number 2, redoing my daily and weekly schedule. Number 3, focusing on personal development. Number 4, revisit and reset goals. Number 5, mapping out the rest of the year. Number 6, creating action plans. And number 7, cleaning and organizing my workspace. If you thought this video was helpful, it would mean so much to me if you would like it and share it with your friends or leave a comment or all three. And I'll see you guys next week.